Brian Young.
That was just on the fly, wonderful. So,
Not my first time.
yeah, thank you. So we talked about chalkboards. I figured I'd put a chalkboard up. We've exchanged the chalkboard, unfortunately, for this. And instead of standing like this, we stand up here and we look at our podium because we really don't have much of a choice. I'm going to go back to my chalkboard quickly. We'll do it black this time. So I now have a chalkboard, and the picture that Cole put up was of tiny chalkboards that all our students had 150 years ago, but I have a chalkboard now that red sucks, so let's do white. That I can walk around with and annotate
Brian,
right on.
can you do the mic? Yeah.
It's going to be Phil Donahue style. So, well, then somebody's going to have to operate this. So I'll just pick on anybody that looks terrified and most terrified. So we now have the ability to hand this to our students, which is interesting. So if you just use your finger, you can draw on that screen. That's one piece, right? The nice thing is I still have the ability to close that out and get back to my my presentation. So let's start a presentation. And this is what most folks will be doing. So you now have that on your screen, correct? And there's two buttons on either end, an up arrow and a down arrow. If you click on one of those, you'll be able to move through your presentation. And also there's a little pen there. If you click on that pen, I didn't click, I'm too far on the other end, you can now, it might be white. So just right on the blue so you can see. Yeah. So you can write on your presentations. This stuff gets saved automatically. And you are no longer expected to stand here. About 5 minutes ago, I got an update from Doceri that said we have something experimental we can try out. So, with the grace of God, we will be on the right wireless network. And you can connect multiple devices, multiple iPads to your computer. So, we can have several students at the same time annotating on screens, manipulating the podium machine, and being able to actually collaborate in a large class. Another interesting feature of the new version of the software is that you can record from your iPad. So you can record all this with your voiceover. It'll pick up on the microphone on the device, and you can save these as videos, upload them to Angel, and there they are. I wouldn't use them personally for a 50-minute lecture, but the ability to actually connect some of the more important topics to a video lecture that students can watch at any time would be great. So we've connected. Go back to our whiteboard. See, now, 20th century, right? We have a whiteboard and a chalkboard. And we can write, and you can write too. So, neat. And also the nice thing, it's sort of like, I've been involved with clickers a lot. So it's the same thing, the same kind of setup that we have with clickers is that you still have control over everything from your machine. So you're not stuck with, there it goes. You're not stuck with handing this device to a student and then you lose all control of your class. You can close Doceri down from here, and right now we have it installed on all of the podium machines in our technology classrooms. So I'm not going to talk too much about this. We have a couple minutes so we can ask questions if anybody has any questions. I have a training session to do on clickers 20 minutes ago. So I'm going to have to run out, but I will be back probably around 1 o'clock. So does anybody have any questions just off the top of their head?
Where does the name come from?
That's the name of the company. They made the software. They named it Doceri. It's probably has something to do with something. But John,
Can you talk a little bit about how people can learn how to use this?
at this point, they can go to doceri.com. This is not something that's a university service at this point. We're still in the process of evaluating how it will work. It's at the end of the spring semester, we were able to put it on machines, and it worked beautifully in all the rooms. This fall semester, we have some I'll say pilots. We'll loosely call them pilots at campuses that will be using this, and we have about 40, 50 instructors on the campuses trying this stuff out.
Yeah, so if I have my iPad with me, I can start using it right away? I got to use it from an app? Is there an app or something?
There's an app that you install on your iPad. It's free.
Okay.
Just type in Doceri. It's iPad only at this point. So everybody's working on Android apps, but nobody ever actually makes them. So it's like,
And it only works on the iPad, not the iPhone.
no iPhone, right? I don't know. The really cool thing is, and you won't be able to see it, so this is nice. Your students don't see what's happening on this screen. So there's a feature that you can just pinch out and zoom in 900%. So if you're writing, one of the issues is, on an iPad you write, it looks like I'm writing with this thing.
Right.
So when I zoom in 900% and I was thinking, I write on the screen. I need to change colors. Comes up really large on here because I'm zoomed in.
Mm-hmm.
But you can really do some fine writing with this once you get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely something you want to mess around with. If you have admin rights on your desktop machine in your office or your laptop, put it on there and you can play with it. The way that it works is the app is free. There's a 30-day free trial of the software. The license is $30. So at this point, we haven't even looked at distributing it or anything like that. But for $30, you can transfer the license from the computer that you put it onto your iPad. And then in any of the classrooms, you can use the full version.
I mean, my question really had to do with whether students could just bring their iPad in there. We don't have to worry about,
They can, with the app, they can. But you would still need to create a password to access Doceri.
Okay.
So the nice thing is if they come with their iPad and say, oh, this is going to be awesome, I'm going to destroy class today, they would need your password to be able to do that. So you create the password. It's not anything tied to Penn State or anything like that, so you can make whatever you want. But you can share that with them. And with the new update, which is on the podiums, you can connect multiple devices. Don't know how that's going to work. So if you're interested in trying, I don't know about 500 iPads. I don't know what the wireless would do.
Right.
Any other questions? I think it's time for a break. Okay. So let me know. I'll be back after 1 o'clock.